In the third episode of Season 3, all eyes turn toward the Dunmire family. Jeremiah Dunmire and his son Cole are no ordinary rivals. They aren't reckless street thugs fighting for scraps. They are calculated, wealthy, and deeply connected. The whispers in Tulsa suggest that Jeremiah controls more than liquor. He has judges in his pocket, city officials under his payroll, and distributors chained by fear. By episode 3, the narrative makes one thing crystal clear: Dwight is not just fighting a mob family. He is stepping into a battlefield where money and influence run deeper than bullets. The biggest theory surrounding episode 3 is tied to Dwight's kidnapping cliffhanger at the end of season 2. Fans predict that Jeremiah and Cole orchestrated that abduction, not just to scare Dwight, but to send a message. Tulsa already has a king, and you are trespassing. If this theory holds true, episode 3 will show Dwight back on his feet, but for the first time, visibly cautious. Not afraid, but calculating. Not striking yet, but observing. Because Dwight knows that brute force won't break a family like the Dunmires. To dismantle them, he must first understand their empire. Mitch Keller and Bodie are expected to dig into the Dunmire businesses, searching for vulnerabilities. But what they'll likely find is disturbing: a dynasty too well-rooted, with connections stretching from local police to state regulators. And Cole, he isn't just Jeremiah's son. He's the reckless weapon. The one who enjoys chaos, the one who provokes enemies into making mistakes. Episode 3 could emphasize Cole's role as both the bait and the trap, pulling Dwight into dangerous confrontations while Jeremiah works the bigger picture in the shadows.
You know what comes.
So the question for episode 3 becomes this: will Dwight confront the Dunmires head-on, or will he bide his time, letting his crew map out the battlefield first? One thing is certain: by the end of episode 3, the Dunmire name will no longer be just a rumor in Dwight's world.
We got a problem.
It will be a living, breathing threat, one that might not be possible to erase with fists or firepower alone. If the Dunmires represent a local kingdom, episode 3 introduces an even more dangerous element: an assassin with history. Russell Lee Washington Jr., played by Samuel L. Jackson, arrives in Tulsa under the orders of the New York Mafia. His mission: eliminate Dwight once and for all. But here's the twist. Russell is not just a nameless hitman. He is an old prison associate of Dwight's. They've shared meals in the mess hall, exchanged survival strategies, maybe even fought side by side behind bars. This makes his arrival in episode 3 fascinating. Because while the mob in New York sees Russell as a weapon, Dwight may see him as something else: a man with loyalty, honor, and scars similar to his own. The trailer hints at their first face-to-face meeting. Imagine the tension: Dwight, calm but suspicious. Russell, ordered to kill him, but clearly intrigued by what Dwight has built in Tulsa. Instead of a quick assassination, episode 3 might pivot into dialogue, an exchange where Russell studies Dwight's empire, questions his own orders, and begins to hesitate. And this hesitation could mark the start of one of the season's most unpredictable relationships. Will Russell betray his orders and join Dwight? Will he act like an ally only to strike when Dwight's guard is down? Or will he stand torn in the middle, testing Dwight's every move before making a decision? The stakes here are massive. Because if Russell aligns with Dwight, it changes the balance of power completely. But if he stays loyal to New York, Dwight will be fighting wars on two fronts: the Dunmires locally, and the Mafia from afar. Episode May 3rd not give us the full answer yet. But it will plant the seeds of a dangerous game where trust and betrayal are separated by a single handshake. While gang wars and rival families take the spotlight, episode 3 could also circle back to one of Dwight's oldest enemies, the law. Remember season 1? Dwight was arrested because of ATF agent Stacy Beal's betrayal. Though season 2 moved the focus toward new threats, the legal danger never fully disappeared. The theory tied to episode 3 is that Dwight's past cases will resurface. The title hint from season 2, Oklahoma vs. Manfredi, suggests the legal system still has unfinished business with him. By the time we hit the third episode, Dwight's lawyer might be working overtime, facing new charges, new evidence, and possibly fabricated witnesses funded by his rivals. And let's be clear, this wouldn't just be courtroom drama for the sake of filler. The timing of these charges feels orchestrated. Imagine Jeremiah using his influence to push legal troubles Dwight's way. Or New York pulling strings to keep Dwight too busy fighting indictments to grow his empire. This subplot matters because it shows Dwight's vulnerability. Guns and fists can't solve a courtroom ambush. Here, strategy and allies matter more than muscle. And in the middle of all this, fans predict a twist. Tina, Dwight's daughter, might step forward. Having seen her father dragged away in handcuffs once, and nearly killed in a kidnapping, she may decide that silence is no longer an option. Episode 3 could mark the beginning of Tina taking an active role in Dwight's empire, whether he approves or not. So while the world watches the gang wars, Dwight may be quietly fighting a second battle, one in court, where betrayal could come from people he doesn't even see. By episode 3, the tension inside Dwight's own circle begins to crack. Because every empire, no matter how strong, always falls from within. The prediction here is simple but brutal: someone close to Dwight will betray him. It may not happen in episode 3 outright, but the seeds will be planted. Bill, for example, already feels undervalued. He could decide that his vans, his connections, and his loyalty deserve more than scraps. His whispers to New York may grow louder, turning him into the snake no one saw coming. Or perhaps it will be Walden, the distributor. Friendly on the surface, but chained to Jeremiah's payroll underneath. One wrong deal, one quiet signature, and Dwight's entire liquor plan could collapse. Even Goody, one of Dwight's more trusted men, could flip if the pressure from New York grows unbearable. Loyalty in Tulsa King is never permanent, it is currency. And episode 3 might prove that even Dwight cannot buy eternal allegiance. And then there's Tina. Fans are torn. Some believe her involvement will strengthen Dwight's empire, others think her presence will distract him, making him vulnerable. If Dwight is forced to choose between protecting his daughter and securing his business, betrayal may not come from greed, but from love. This is where episode 3 becomes more than just mob drama. It becomes a story of legacy, where the greatest enemy might not be a rival family or an assassin, but the fractures inside Dwight's own home. So, where does episode 3 leave us? We have Jeremiah and Cole tightening their grip on Tulsa. We have Russell Lee Washington Jr. standing at the crossroads of loyalty and betrayal. We have old legal troubles threatening to resurface. And we have Dwight's own crew showing the first cracks of disloyalty. The ending of episode 3 is predicted to be less explosive and more ominous. Instead of a grand shootout, fans expect a chilling cliffhanger, a conversation, or reveal, or a betrayal that sets the stage for blood in episode 4. The theory gaining the most traction is this. Episode 3 will end with Dwight realizing that his greatest threat isn't just outside his circle. It is someone already sitting at his table. Because in Tulsa King, bullets kill fast. But betrayal kills slow, and it always hurts more. So, as episode 3 closes, one truth becomes undeniable. Dwight may have built an empire. But now, every ally is a potential traitor. And the only question left is, who will stab him first?